Have you ever been hard at something, giving it your all? You've been digging in, you've been doing it, you've been having some success. And then after a while, it starts to wane. The excitement goes away. Or maybe something happened in the process that set you off, that got you off track, that really put a lump, a hump, a bump, an obstacle in your way. And now you're finding it difficult to get back on track. That's what we're talking about tonight. In the process of reversing our diabetes. Hey, I'm Dr. Dwain Woode. If you're new to me, that's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. And in this year, new year, new you. I'm talking to adults with type 2 diabetes who want to reverse their diabetes, who want to get off of their medication, in fact, who want to put their diabetes in remission. I'm so excited that you are here. I'm glad that you're in this space. That's what we do. If you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments because I'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music and let you know that we are excited that you are here. If you're new, or even if you are one of our regulars, if you have questions, go ahead and put those in the chat. Put a Q in front of them because we'd love to get to you and answer those as we move through the rest of the evening. I am now just shy of, of 48 hours. Just shy of 48 hours. Right now we're about 46 hours, y'all. 45 and a half hours into my fast, into this 72-hour fast that we're doing here on this week. As you know, if you've been following us, we're using fasting. I'm using fasting as that amazing tool that helps to reverse diabetes, and it has all the benefits. We'll talk to those here in just a little bit. But if you've not been watching, if you've not been following, make sure you get over and watch one of our playlists. We have one that's called How to Fast Successfully that goes through all of the things that we've been doing. And as we do here on the channel, I've got my monitors. So I've got my monitors over here we're going to take a look at in just a minute. And right below me, you see that right there. That is my Dexcom Clarity app, which we'll take a look at in just a little while. I do want to hop over and say hello. I do see one of our community members out there. I see Steve. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Welcome, man. Glad that you are here. And for those of you who may be on Instagram or Twitch or LinkedIn or Facebook, welcome to you as well. Glad that you are here hanging out with us in this space. As I said, 48 hours coming up here pretty soon in this week's fast. We're heading to 72 hours in just a little while. We'll be moving into that section. Make sure you join us as we do our review of fasting tomorrow, and then of course catch us for this week in review on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Central right here on Dwain Woode MD. So let's hop over, and as you know, I always try to do a check-in for fasting. All right, so fasting is what we're talking about tonight. And I want to do a check-in because this is where people find that they will have issues, have some trouble. And there are three phases of the check-in. There are three components that I want to talk about. They are how I'm doing physically, how I'm doing mentally, and how I'm doing emotionally. Because remember, fasting is not just about the physical. It's also a mental and emotional, which we'll address a little bit again as we talk through our discussion for tonight. So physically, how am I feeling? And physically, I'll tell you what the main issue is that a lot of people will talk about when it comes to physical, and then talk about how I'm feeling. And so the main thing that people will talk about in terms of the physical is their energy level. Right? How are they feeling? How are they feeling tired? Are they feeling fatigued? That's the big one. And that often comes as we're making that transition between burning carbohydrates and burning ketones. Remember, that was one of the big things, one of the big reasons why we are using fasting as one of our tools, because we get to that fat burning. And during that fat burning, sometimes people will feel a dip in their energy. The other things that people will feel in terms of physical, lightheadedness, dizziness, sweatiness, and then of course palpitations, feeling like the heart's racing or skipping a beat. All of those sometimes will have to do with blood sugar, particularly if someone is diabetic. As the blood sugar goes down, they may feel that as lightheadedness, dizziness, sweatiness, palpitations, like the heart's racing, skipping a beat. The other thing that happens there is that someone may be dehydrated. And remember, when you're dehydrated, as as the volume in your body goes down, the heart still has to pump the same amount of oxygen, or your tissues still need the same amount of oxygen. So in order to keep fulfilling that requirement, the heart has to speed up, because for each component, each quantity of blood can't carry the same amount, because, right, you're dehydrated. And so the heart has to speed up to deliver to the body, to the rest of the organs, all the oxygen that it needs. And so that's why you will feel that as palpitations. And like I said, particularly as people are dehydrated. I am actually feeling pretty energetic. I'm not feeling tired. I'm not feeling lightheaded. I'm not feeling dizzy. I'm not feeling palpitations. Part of that is because I have been particularly careful this week, coming out of last week into this week, as I've been getting into this fast, and I've gone back to doing some different hydration as I was doing at the beginning, right? So I'd gotten away from that and was trying to use some other things to hydrate, and it wasn't quite working. So I've kind of gone back to what I was doing before. But right now, not feeling lightheaded, dizzy, sweaty, all those things that we talk about in terms of physical. And then mental. Remember, if the mind is not where it should be, then everything else kind of falls apart. Okay. And in terms of the mental places or things that people will feel here is sluggishness. They feel like they're in a fog, in a daze, right? And once again, that can also come as we're making that transition between burning carbohydrates and burning ketones. Also, it can come if someone is particularly fatigued, right? So when you're tired, you're not at your best. It also comes if somebody's dehydrated. So remember, those two things, those two components, so resting and hydration plays a big part in this whole process. I am not feeling sluggish. I'm not feeling foggy. I don't feel like I'm in a daze, okay? That all, once again, comes as a result of doing a good job, I think, of getting into this fast. And then the final component is emotional. We talk about that roller coaster, right? So the roller coaster of emotions are so strong, they can be so strong that they can derail us in our process of fasting.